Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. Joseph James, June 28, 2010. Here's your live trade recap, StooleTrade.com. Before we talk about the trades we took today, guys, we had another wonderful Monday morning in our live trade room. Don't forget though, below the video, the blog has a brand new section on it called the Live Trade Room Resources. Look for Trade Room Resources. It'll give you guys lots of different videos. All the notes from our daily trade room are in there, guys, called Trade Room Resources. Check that out on the blog. We also posted an article about the gift and the curse of wanting to be a day trader. Now guys, you can see here 2, 4, 6, 7 total trades. We got one loss in there. We can't seem to get away from that one loss each day right now. We put ourselves in a really good position on gold. I'm going to talk more about that in a second. So we've got, of course, first day of the week here, guys. We took 117 ticks out of it, 1140 in our pocket today on only 4 contracts. We did it. We beat our record from May. This is now the biggest month of the year here so far, guys. In June, who would have thought a summer month of June would be the biggest month of the year? That's pretty encouraging for next month in July. So make sure you guys stick around with us here as we go into the month of July here. What's the most important thing that happens today? Well, we expect Mondays to be a little bit slow. Traders coming into the market late. Mondays are going to be slow. It's a short week. Got a holiday weekend ahead of us where Monday mornings on a short week are oftentimes a little bit unpredictable. Okay, sometimes we see lots of volume, lots of moves at the earliest portion, right, of a short week. So Monday and Tuesday would have the most action because a lot of people are trying to get their work done before they head out to the yacht, right, out to the Hamptons, wherever they're going, of course, for their long weekend. So we expect people to be, maybe checking out of life a little bit early here this week. So Monday morning, short week, didn't know what to expect. We saw sideways markets, some wedge patterns, slow speed of the tape. We looked at the dollar here because the dollar, of course, this is where we get started each day. And you can see the dollar, we have these sideways trading ranges, right, coming down from the highs, up from the lows. And of course, we're going to be inside of this wedge pattern here, right, until we break out the downside or up, right, to the upside. Now, we saw this wedge pattern and the same thing on gold. Let me show you guys gold because the dollar, of course, gave us a good heads up. Okay, but gold really kind of put the wheels to the road, right? That's where we really began to use this stuff. We can, of course, theorize, right? Or we can use theory, we can speculate all we want, but we got to be able to put this stuff to action every day in our trading. Now check this out. This is exactly how we set things up this morning. Now this is my fast time frame here on gold. And on gold, on the fast time frame, we quickly realized that we were trading in the same sideways range that we were from Friday. Right now, of course, here's Friday, right? And here's Monday. So we opened up this morning and we had some big time concerns. Concern number 1, slow speed, right? Slow speed. Concern number 2, right? Nothing has changed, right? Nothing has changed. And we know nothing's changed because the gold market hasn't gone anything different, right? We haven't seen a new high, no new lows. And it's a Monday morning ahead of a short week, so we're thinking to ourselves, oh no, another one of these slow and sluggish days. We got to sit back and wait and wait and wait, and I can't do that. No. What we noticed here was slow, right? Slow speed, and nothing has changed. That was our first, right? Our first kind of reaction to what I see right here, right now. Now, what do you see though? We see a wedge pattern has developed here, right? Downward trend line, right? Upward trend line here, wedge pattern. However you want to slice it, okay? Wedge pattern at those lows. Now, because the wedge pattern was there, we knew that something was going to break, right? So we looked at the wedge pattern here on gold, and we knew, okay, inside the wedge pattern, I'm going to stay away from this trade. But if I see it break to the upside, now we're talking. And what do you see right here? There it goes. Boom. Right? So it breaks out of the upside, gets on its horse, and all of a sudden now we're looking at a fast price action. We're looking at a very different situation now, and that's going to lead us into our first trade of the day here on gold. Okay, so looking for the break of that wedge pattern and then getting serious about looking for those high percentage patterns. Let's look at another thing. Now, this is going to result in our first trade on gold today. Okay, but let's look at what really made us money today. And I'm going to slow things down a little bit here on gold. Now, this is my slower chart, and I know there's a lot of lines on here. We just finished up our trade room, so of course we mark up these charts as we go. There are 3 important things I want you guys to see here. The first thing is upper left-hand corner. Now, when I zoom in on this, I want you guys to see here. Notice we had, right, one, two double top, a new high, and then you can see it comes down, right, and then comes back up and makes a brand new high here. Now we have this, we always look for this, right? Whenever we see price come up, make a brand new high, and then tumble, we always know it's going to be a pretty good reversal. What do you think? And it tumbles down, right? Big time reversal off those highs. Okay, now make a mental note. Take a snapshot of that. That's back on the 21st, right? So almost a week ago. A little bit more than a week ago. Now let's come over here to the current high, and what do we see again? Made a very small new higher high. So of course we have the double tops here. We come down. We make this new high right here. And then what do we look for? We look for that big tumbling reversal. Now we saw that happen right in front of us, and we look for that big tumbling reversal. But I want you guys to remember one thing real quick. This level right here is at 53.3. Then this level is at 50.3. Now I want you guys to remember that number here, 53.3, 53.3. Because what we had to do was we had to wait. Once price broke off of those highs, we expected to see this big tumbling market. We had to break below the 53.3 because the 53.3, if you can see it right here, this is where those double bottoms are, and that, my friends, is where we're going to get feedback from the sellers saying, I'll take that price action, I'll take it all, right? So once we break below 53.3, we now know the sellers are screaming at us, I've got control, right? I'm now controlling this price, look out below. But we had to make sure we got below it though, right? It's a double bottom, 53.3. Okay, so remember that level, 53.3. And remember, whenever we see those double tops, the highs, and then we come in, we make a brand new high, but a little tiny new high, okay, get ready for that big tumble all the way down. We'll talk more about that tomorrow in our trade room, and we'll also go over that in our members training on Wednesday. Now remember back here, guys, how we talked about how the break of this wedge pattern was going to lead into our first trade of the day? Well, look around here, right? 1260. Okay, once we broke that high of day, 1259, 1260. Now here's our first trade of the day here. And what do you know? There it is, 1260. First trade of the day, 953 on gold. So we saw the wedge pattern break out down here, right? There's where the wedge pattern broke. We start getting on our horse. We start running hard. We come up, we test the high of day, green pace of tape, momentum pointing up. Mark up our swing high, break above that swing high. There's your breaker long, 60.6 at 953. We took 2 off at 4, 1 off at 9, 1 off at 5, 23 ticks or 230 USD. So we take 23 ticks out of the first move of the day. Guys, this is exactly why we wait to get our perfect patterns. This is exactly why we do the homework ahead of time to define where that wedge pattern was. Okay, this, guys, is exactly how we should be trading. We define ahead of time what we're looking for, and then we wait for the market to come to us. Okay, let's keep going. That was the first trade of the day here on gold. There was a bunch more here, all winners today. Now back on the gold, right? 2 more here on gold, 1045 and 1048, 51.4, 52.3. Now, do you remember that level we talked about earlier? What was that level again? Where was it? It was right here. What was it again? 53.3. 53.3. So we had to get below that 53.3. Where are these here? They're below it, right? Below that 53.3. Now, we're going to show you how we made the real money here, the last 2 trades of the morning. But I want to show you guys here, we had to be careful, right? These trades didn't just pop out of nowhere. We had to make sure we didn't get them above that 53.3, or if it got too far below, it was down around that 52.2, right? 50.2. So we had a little tiny area of room here below that 53.3. And guys, you can see right here, this is exactly how we do it. We come down, we're going to break, test these lows here, right? Test the low of day. We're going to bounce off the low of day. Now I missed the 2-step short, right? 2-step short comes here above here. So there's your 2-step long. Okay, I missed that one. That's okay. It was moving real fast. Okay, real fast price action at this point. But if you miss the 2-step, okay, look for the breaker. Now, of course, we came up. Now, there was a red line here this time. It's gone now. There was a red line there. We broke above the red line, marked up our swing high, and there's your breaker pattern long. 51.4 was the fill. We took 2 off at 4, 1 off at 8, 1 at 7. That's 23 ticks for our second trade of the morning.